we can get started with the poll. So I'm going to launch this poll. The question is, what are your thoughts on pleasure? And thank you guys for who just joined in. We're just doing a quick poll. We're here with Shani Hart. She is a certified sex coach and owner of Hart's Desires, located in Adams Morgan and Suitland, Maryland. Suitland District Heights. But she has 2 locations, and we're going to be talking about pleasure today. So thank you guys for entering that poll. So I'm going to share the results. So our thoughts on pleasure. So some of you guys said it's awkward. Some of you guys said it's fun. So today we're going to learn about how we can make it fun and pleasurable.
Yes, it should be fun. I think sometimes we think about pleasure, we look at these different things like on porn and on social media, and we feel like it has to be a certain way and we have to be all serious. It should be fun.
Yeah, yes. So let me see if I see a question. Love pleasure. Yes, love pleasure. Thank you guys. Thank you for commenting that. And making sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, so first I kind of want to get into CBD oil, because we've talked about this on a personal level about what CBD is, but I still have some questions about it. I'm pretty sure you guys have some questions about it, but what is CBD oil?
Well, real quick, not to be real sciencey, CBD comes from the hemp plant, which is a variety of the cannabis plant. And it is legal. It's legal in America right now as of 2018. CBD differs from THC, where THC gets you high. CBD does more for like a relaxation, calm, putting your body in balance. It has lots of different benefits. It benefits sleep, appetite, mood, anxiety, a whole host of different health conditions. And one of my favorite things that enhances is sexual pleasure. It's been really shown to help a lot of people, especially because CBD helps with anxiety. And some people have anxiety before sex, whether it's from post-trauma or maybe body image issues, or just being anxious about having sex with a partner for the first time. CBD can help calm you down and say, okay, woosah, it's going to be okay. So you can concentrate on the pleasure. Also, some people have painful sex, whether it be from endometriosis, pelvic pain issues, fibroids, things like that. And CBD is anti-inflammatory and helps with pain relief. So that helps when it's used vaginally. Unfortunately, it doesn't help if a person has a penis, put it on the penis, it really doesn't do anything, unfortunately. But it helps vaginally. Also, CBD is a vasodilator, which that means that it increases blood flow. And if you know anything about pleasure, increased blood flow means increased sensitivity, increased erections. More sensitivity leads to bigger orgasms. So that's once I read that part and actually took it, I was like, that's it. I didn't have to read nothing else. Better orgasm. And also it helps with lubrication in some people. Some women helping with increasing natural lubrication. So that's my favorite thing to talk about when it comes to CBD is increase in sexual pleasure.
Okay, so that sounds like something that's a great thing, because at first, I personally would mix up THC and CBD, so I didn't know the difference. But now understanding the difference and understanding that CBD is legal, that's great. And then also all the benefits that goes along with that. So how do you use CBD? So do you put it down there, or how do you use it?
So for me, I take CBD every morning. I take a CBD oil, or they call it tincture. I take that every morning because I have anxiety issues. I think a lot of Black people right about now have some anxiety issues. So I take that every day. But when I'm about to have sex, if I need to be more calm, I use a CBD lube. So I pump some on my hand, on my finger, and rub it on my vulva, rub it on my clit, insert it in vaginally. And it takes about, between 5, 10, 20 minutes, depending on the person, for it to be absorbed in the body. So while I was doing that, I might do some other things with my partner or by myself. I might do some other things and help myself get warmed up while I'm waiting for it to be absorbed. And then it's whatever I'm using it for that day. It's like CBD just knows where to go to put your body at kind of like a homeostasis, a woosah level. And so once it's absorbed, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for increased pleasure. I'm calm. And sometimes I have a mindful issue. CBD also helps with focus. And I don't know if anybody else suffers. Sometimes, especially during masturbation, I start masturbating and I'm thinking like, okay, what am I going to cook for dinner? Dag, I got to let me lay out my clothes for work tomorrow. And I'm not concentrating on the pleasure. But since CBD helps with focus, it helps me in that category also. So I started my company, the Noir Leaf CBD company, to primarily educate African Americans about CBD. So that's what I've been doing lately, educating African Americans about all the benefits, and especially talking to women about the pleasure benefits.
Nice. So we'll make sure we'll give you guys that resource about Noir Leaf and how you can get CBD lube and things like that. I guess, can you take CBD with other enhancements? So those pink pills that are going around or alcohol, is it safe to use with other products?
So I do. When it comes to like advice like that, medical advice, I always say if you're scared or wondering, to consult a doctor to find out. Because I would hate to say, yeah, sure, take all the things, and then somebody come back and be like, girl, I'm gonna sue you because you told me. Doesn't work. So I like to tell people, I drink wine when I'm using my CBD, or I drink wine when I take any of the female enhancement pills, the stimulants. But someone else, it might have a adverse side effect with them. So see your doctor.
Gotcha. Are there any questions about CBD oil before we go into the next segment? And thank you guys for who joined in while we were just doing that. I didn't get a chance to say hello. Any questions? No. Okay. Thank you. So now I want to go into the senses, because a lot of times when we think about increasing intimacy or pleasure, we don't really think about our senses. We see things online, or we see things in movies and media, and we think this is what needs to be done, but we don't think about self. So I want to talk about the 5 senses, which is sight, touch, taste, hearing, and smell, and how to increase intimacy with that. So we can start with sight first.
So with sight, a lot of people think about maybe like putting on lingerie for their partner to see them and be aroused, or maybe watch a porn with their partner. With sight, my favorite thing with the sense sight is actually to take sight away. I like using a blindfold or some type of scarf over the eyes, because it really enhances the other senses. So I like to be blindfolded. My partner a little funny when it comes to blindfolded and giving up control. He's a little funny. So I like to be blindfolded, and then so it increases the arousal for me, because I'm sitting there like, what's about to happen? What's about to happen next? So say, he has a blindfold on me and takes like this flogger. People think about floggers and everything about like just whipping really hard, but maybe he takes this and slowly, drapes it over my body, and it lingers around my back, or lingers down, down there over my butt, all the different parts. That's going to be like, ooh, I like that. I never know where he's going to put it next. So for sight, I really enjoy taking away the sense of sight. When it comes to touch, I enjoy lingerie. So for touch, I like lacy lingerie. I like the way it feels against my body. I like stuff with fur. So I like the texture of everything, to feel it. The sense of touch really is for me. I really don't care with my partner. It's feel it on. It's for me. So I use that one for me. Their sense of touch, I guess they get to touch me. So so that's the perk of them doing it. Hearing, I think the sense of hearing is really important. Communication is awesome when you're having sex. So if you like something your partner is doing, give it a nice moan or talk to them, say that feels good, keep doing that. Or if they're doing something wrong or something that you don't like that's not pleasing to you, say, okay, can you try doing that on the left side? Or, you're pinching my nipple too hard, or you're not pinching my nipple hard enough. So using your words and using communication and giving them that feedback, that's awesome during sex. A lot of times we see people being silent. We see the movies and the sex scenes and everything, but it should be fun. It should be talking, laughing, moaning, all these different things. So that's what I liked for the sense of hearing. What's the other one?
Taste. But before we get into taste, I want to, we have some questions for the CBD, and I'm going to put it live. The first one says, is CBD lube water-based, or can it be used with toys too?
So the two CBD lubes that I carry are a silicone lube and a oil-based lube. So it's important that an oil-based lube, you can't use those with latex condoms. That's like the most important thing. I use silicone lube with silicone toys. A lot of people used to always say, don't use silicone lube with silicone toys. But nowadays, the quality of the silicone and a lot of the good manufactured toys and the quality of the silicone and the lube is of higher caliber than maybe it once has been. So I always use silicone lube with silicone toys. I just make sure to clean it real good afterwards. But if you want to be on the safe side, then and you're not sure the quality of your silicone, then you probably wouldn't want to use the silicone lube with the toys. You could also do a patch test, but just to see how it reacts to the silicone lube. But unfortunately, I don't have any water-based CBD lube. Oil-based is probably the most popular CBD lube, just because CBD oil works well incorporated with another oil. So that's why a lot of them are oil-based.
Nice. Okay. And then we have another question. Is the CBD you sell only in oil form? So you kind of just answered that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a CBD, but a regular CBD that people take like for anxiety, pain, anything like that. I have CBD oil. I have gummies. I have topical CBD. I have CBD bath bombs. So I use the CBD for a bunch of different things. Like I could talk about CBD in general for like a whole hour about all the different things. But as far as using it for pleasure, I mostly use my CBD bath bombs, especially if I want to relax and get in the mood, because baths make me feel sexy. So I use one of my CBD bath bombs to help me relax, and then I might use the CBD lube right before I have sex. But I do have a bunch of other different things. I'll put my website in the chat, and you can see all the things I have. And I also have some blog posts with some information, because one of my things I like to educate and talk to people about CBD. So there's a few blog posts on there with some good information.
Okay, so those are the questions. So we're going to go back to the senses, and you were just about to talk about taste. So
taste. We were talking about taste earlier, talking about the sweetened pills that you take. It was funny because I said I tried the pills one time before. So if anybody doesn't know, it's these pills that you can take, and once you metabolize them, they make your secretions taste good. And I just tried it once, just because I just wanted to see if it really worked. But I'm one of the people like you. If you don't like the way I taste, because I know I eat fairly good. I got good hygiene. And if you don't like the way it tastes, then, let me know. But I taste good. I might taste myself from time to time when I'm doing a couple things. I taste good. So I don't feel the need to take anything that's going to alter the taste of my body. But that is something to try. Also, what I like to use is flavored lubricant, especially when I'm giving oral sex to my partner. But sometimes you have to be really in the mood to give blowjobs, and especially if you're the person giving the blowjob, getting the excitement up. Because one of the main factors of giving oral sex to somebody in a great way is enthusiasm. So the flavored lube can help me, you know, make it have a little something taste. Skin, you know, don't taste like nothing, but you add some flavored lubricant on all these different parts, and it makes the session more enjoyable. So that's something I like to use for taste. And the last one, taste.
We did sight, touch, taste, hear, and smell. We didn't do smell.
Smell. I love candles. So one of the things that I really love is these massage candles. The massage candle actually incorporates a whole bunch of senses in one. So when you like this one is a peach flavored. So when you light the candle, it smells like peach, and then it gives you a good aroma into the room. And also as the wax melts, it turns into a warm massage oil where you could pour on your partner and rub on them, yeah. And then it's edible. It's made out of soy. So when you lick them, in this case, it'll taste like peach. So I really like using this massage candle. It really works on a lot of the different senses.
Cool. That's really cool. I didn't know about the candles. Because I'm like, I love candles, but I didn't know candles come in those different forms. Does anyone have any questions about the 5 senses and how to increase intimacy within those 5 senses? I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Where can I get the massage candle? Oh, yeah.
Let's see. If you're local to the DMV, you can come pop into either one of our stores, and it's called, let me write it, Hart's Desires. If I'm spelling it wrong, how I'm going to spell my own store name wrong? Hart's Desires, but our website is heartsdesires.com, and we have them on the website. If you just search edible candles, or you go to the massage department, you'll see those candles. They come in lots of different flavors. It's really fun. And people think like, it's not like BDSM candles where the wax is going to be hot, hot, hot. It's made out of soy, so the wax is going to be a little warm. But one thing I suggest to people is try it on yourself first too. Before you experiment on your partner, you know, try it out first and see what is the type of sensation that you're going to be giving your partner. And so that might make everything a lot less, you know, awkward. Because sometimes they be like, you going to pour a candle on me? What do you think this is? But if you show your partner, no, pour it on, it's okay. It's warm. it's a little better received.
Oh, okay. So let me make sure that everyone can see everything. Just want to make sure that everyone can see all the. And I'm gonna,
oh, my setting is wrong.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure. I was like, oh, wait, hold on.
I didn't even pay attention. I'm on all panelists. Okay.
Okay. So, yep. So that's interesting. I never heard about the candles. And when I think about sight, for some reason, I thought like, oh, lap dances, but sometimes that can get really played out. So the blindfold is a good tip. And then touch, of course, a lingerie. And I always say like, wear lingerie. Like you said, wear lingerie for you. Like sometimes it's just nice to wear for yourself. And then the taste, didn't know about those edible candles. And then the hearing, I think about music. So like, you know, sometimes people think music is played out, but music can also be like a good, you know.
Oh no, I love music. I'm lazy. Sometimes I don't feel like going on my phone, so I turn my TV on the Music Choice channel on the R&B soul, and I let that play. And plus, it puts a little light in the background of the room, so it's like it's kind of dark, but not all the way dark. But I can still see some things going on. I love music. I used to have, back when the iPods was all big, I used to have a booty call playlist. Who else had a booty call playlist on their iPad? Somebody might still have one, but I had all the best booty call songs, and this was in my whole phase, and I used to play it for everybody. Everybody came over, got the same booty call playlist.
See, I have a get ready playlist, a playlist to like let me get ready in the mood. So I'm like, okay, when I'm driving to my sneaky link.
Right, sneaky link.
So yeah, I love music. I have a playlist on my Apple Music. See, you gotta private that Apple Music because you can't have everybody knowing your playlist. Someone said not sneaky link.
Right. I'm like, sneaky. I've never heard that before in life, and I'm stealing it. That's stolen.
So, you know, on TikTok, it's been like really publicized, but like on TikTok, they've been giving these tips and tricks of how to prepare for your sneaky link. So when you're like about to sneak out and meet up with your bag. So some people, they do like a shower routine and show what they use in the shower. Some stuff is you shouldn't be using in the shower on your lady parts, but that's like a thing on TikTok. So I'm just like, oh, now I've been using the term sneaky link.
I put TikTok on my phone like really early in the whole COVID thing. I said, I'm gonna do TikTok videos. I ain't never do nothing. I never even open the thing. So
once you get on, you get hooked. So we have another question. So they said still have a playlist. What are your top 3 songs on your playlist, Jalynn and Shani? So actually,
my songs are like old school songs, like Shy. Like I like the song Lose Control. Do you remember that song? Let me make you lose control. I can't sing. That was horrible. I'm gonna take that back. But I am over 40. So my genre of music might be a little different than some other people. So I like 90s R&B on my list. R. Kelly had a bunch of songs on there. I had to go and he ruined it because I like Chocolate Factory. That the whole Chocolate Factory CD was bomb. Another top 3 song, Insatiable by Prince. Woo! Put that on, panties is dropping immediately. Immediately. That's another one. What's the third? I have to think of a third one, but definitely those two, Lose Control, Insatiable. I'll probably think of another one. What's yours?
mine is okay, so it's a couple on Usher's, was it Confessions?
Ooh.
So he has one song called Seduction.
Yeah.
One called Red Light something. I can't remember. And then I love Beyonce, so Dance View is one of my jams.
Oh yeah.
And then I might play some Megan.
On the booty call playlist?
Well, on my way to the
okay, on the way to the sneaky link. Okay.
And then when I get there, it's mainly like 90s. So I'll play like what's the guy? The band that I like. Hold on, I gotta go to my actual playlist. Just a second. So it's more like neo soul. So Mint Condition. Then I have a little bit of Erica. I hate to say it. Then I have some Neo on there.
I like Neo.
A couple of Marion songs. He's actually pretty. I'm a millennial.
I ain't mad at you.
Drew Hill, some Joe is on there as well. And yeah.
You got everybody. See, I don't even have the list on my phone. I've been married for some time. I need to practice more what I preach. I always tell people to keep at the things like when I see certain couples and they talk about it, the passion's gone, intimacy gone. I'm like, well, what are some of the things that you did in the beginning? So in the beginning, I used to play my songs and everything like that. And I need to practice what I preach and do some more things that I advise people to do. I need to get my playlist back together.
Yes. So hopefully that encourages everyone to have like a top 3. Thanks for that question. So next I want to talk about masturbation. So how do we get comfortable with ourselves? Because when we think about masturbation, a lot of times it can be awkward. When we ask the first poll questions, some people think it can be awkward. So how do we get out that awkward phase so we can be in tune with self, so we can tell our partners how to,
That's the you hit the topic, the main point that I feel is great, besides pleasure of masturbation, is being able to tell our partners what pleases us. I think getting over it being awkward, I think it comes with some, it starts at every orgasms, pleasure, all these different things start in the brain. So changing the way you view masturbation. Maybe you grew up thinking it was nasty, something that was taboo, whether your family taught you this or church taught you this, or, whatever influence taught you. Getting out of the mindset that it's something bad is probably going to be the best first step to getting more comfortable. You might not want to jump out there and jump into getting a toy first off if you're a little uncomfortable, but you could just use your hands, use your fingers, explore your body. That's going to be one of the most important things to do. Figure out all your different erogenous zones. You might not know behind your left kneecap is going to get you hot and bothered, but if you never touched it, then you wouldn't know. I mostly always use toys when I'm masturbating, just because toys, uh, in the desire process, they make the arousal go faster because the vibrations help all the blood flow and sensitivity when you're using these toys. So I like to use a little toy. It speeds up the process for me. But sometimes even with my fingers, I can get together in a good 4 or 5 minutes. But it's just getting to the point that you are comfortable with exploring your body. For me, masturbation helps me with body image issues. A lot of us that identify as women, sometimes we're uncomfortable with our bodies. But for me, being able to please myself and touch all my different parts and get pleasure out of it, it actually makes me feel better about my body. I'm like, touch on my chest. I'm like, oh, this feels nice. My boobs look great and all these different things. So masturbation is it's like the cornerstone of my self-care routine. It helps me in so many different ways. Pleasure, it helps me with my body image issues. It helps me connect with myself. And also it helps me explain to my partners what I like.
So we have a question. Do you think it's should be a certain amount of times you should masturbate a month? I think that's what they're asking. So how many times, is there a limit on how many times you masturbate?
So there's no limit on masturbation unless it comes to the point that it's interfering with your daily life. So if you're calling out of work because you want to stay in the bed all day to masturbate, it might be a problem. If you're, canceling plans all the time because you want to stay home and masturbate, that could be a problem. But if it's not getting in the way of your everyday life, go for it. Sometimes on a good Saturday, I might sit in bed for hours and pleasing myself. And you might need that sometimes. So I wouldn't say there's any magic number and what the limit is on how often you can masturbate.
Okay. So do you have any beginner toys that you recommend? I know you say use your fingers first or get to know and feel yourself first, but if you are interested in trying toys, if you never tried toys, what are some beginner toys for masturbation?
So most of the time when someone comes into the store and they ask me, what's a good toy to start off with? Well, first I'll talk about a person that identifies as a woman. Mm-hmm. I always suggest a bullet. So most people know what a bullet looks like. It's just a small toy. It's an external toy. Mostly women have orgasms from clitoral stimulation. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of times when we're having penetrative sex, if your partner is a man that has a penis, you might not have an orgasm because most of all of our good and juicy nerve endings are in the clitoris. So bullets are great to use during sex and also by yourself. So this might be an easy way to help you have an orgasm. Bullets are usually small. You can put them in your purse and go. Also, they usually have one button control. So it's not fancy. It's not going to have, a bunch of remotes with a bunch of buttons and everything. It's just something simple and easy to use and not intimidating. So a bullet is usually what I suggest for a first-time toy. We have a lot of college students come in, especially to the store in Adams Morgan, because there's a lot of colleges around there. And they say, I never had a toy before. What should I get? And they all fall in love with a bullet. And plus, price-wise, they're really good. Like this one is a rechargeable bullet. It's called the Jessie, and it's only $29.99. So bullets, a rechargeable bullet, used to be very expensive. Now the prices have actually come down. We actually have rechargeable ones starting at I think like $22. Cool. So it's a good starter toy, because with toys it's trial and error. You might get a toy and you don't like it, So before you jump out there and spend $200 on your first toy, I would start off small and get some lower price point toys just to see, what type of vibration, what type of stimulation and pleasure you're going to enjoy.
Good, yeah. And another tip that I kind of want to include with that about masturbation and getting comfortable with yourself is also journaling.
Yes.
Pleasure journal, and we'll provide that too as well. But basically, it kind of gives you like a nightly journal entry, like what turns you on today, what made you feel good today, how did you see yourself in the mirror, what made you smile, what do you hope for tomorrow. It actually has one exercise where you draw what you think your vulva looks like. So I think this is a good tip to, like, get comfortable with yourself. It's a sexual pleasure journal, and there's so many, and you don't even have to buy this. You can honestly just do it on your own, like ask yourself prompts in a regular notebook, like, oh, this turned me on today, I feel good about myself. Kind of feed yourself affirmations so you get more comfortable with yourself down there.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the journal. Where's one? I have one of my, this one I have an erotic journal for sexual inspiration and exploration. So this one is also an awesome journal that I really love.
Yes, so we'll provide that too. Shani got all the stuff. So those are just some tips for masturbation. Now it's playtime with your partner. So how do we ask our partner, like, okay, so we're interested in toys, we're interested in new ways of experiencing pleasure. How do we ask our partner to make it less awkward?
So first off, I like to start off with a way to put together a compliment and use like a good I statement. Because you don't want to come in and be like, I want to use toys because, the sex sucks, or, the dick is trash. But you don't want to come in and say something like that. I like to say something like, I really love our sex life, but I would like to, try some more things. Or I saw this toy on Facebook, or I read this article on Facebook, or I saw this Zoom meeting on toys, and the woman suggested that, a bullet is a great introductory toy. I also like telling people with a partner, go into your local sex shop. That's a fun date night. Like going in together, because that can take some of the intimidation away. If both people have a hand in picking out something, then it's not going to be a whole bunch of awkwardness as much as it could be. Also, if you are picking out something to use your partner, probably not going to pick something real big. If your partner identifies as a male, don't come in there with a 10-inch dildo and be like, hey, I want to use this, because you don't want to intimidate your partner. You don't want to put them in a defensive zone to make them feel that they're doing something wrong. You want to express to them that you enjoy sex with them and you would like to experience this new thing with them. You would like to give them some extra pleasure. You would like to see, all the things that are out there. You want to have a fun sex life and explore different things, but don't say you do this. Use a lot of I statements. I feel like it would be fun. I would like to try this. And that usually helps.
I agree. So we have one question. What kind of toys are good for first time use with a partner?
So it really depends on the partner. Some partners are going to be more go with the flow, adventurous. Some people might be more intimidated by toys. So it might be something simple like a bullet. Mm-hmm. And you can use this in foreplay. You might say, hey, I want to give you a massage. And you use this on them first. And you can use this on their back and use this all over their body, rub it around their genitals and be like, okay, now your turn, use it on me. Incorporate them some kind of way in there. One of my favorite toys to use with a partner, it's a large toy, but it's the magic wand. The magic wand is probably the most popular sex toy, but I really love this toy because it looks like, it's not intimidating to a lot of people because it just looks like a body massager, mm-hmm. like you get from Brookstone or Walmart or whatever the place is that you get these type of toys. But I like to use this because your partner can use this on you. It has a nice handle, so while you're having sex, they can use it in a way. I love using it especially like if my partner is behind me with a dog style position, he could have this in the hand and stimulate my clitoris. I'm one of 80% of women that need clitoral stimulation have an orgasm. So we always use a lot of toys, or we might use toys beforehand, use toys during, or use toys after. One way or another, I'm going to get mine. So they're going to come into play some kind of way. But using something like this where your partner can actually have it in their hand and use it on them, use it on you, is a help.
Nice. That's cool. So, with, I guess, toys, is there appropriate time to ask your partner, like if, well, not toys in general, but I guess in intimacy and exploring new things with your partner, is there appropriate time to ask these questions?
Well, I like to suggest that before you have the conversation, ask your partner, are you in a good place to have, a conversation about our sex life? Are you in a good place right now? Is this a good time to talk about intimacy? Because they might had a rough day or had a fight with one of their friends, or, maybe they just hungry. And they're like, you know what? Let me get a snack and I'm going to come on back. So that's always a good thing. Ask if they're in a place to talk about it, and then have the conversation go from there.
So what about if you try the new, I guess the new thing, whether that's a new intimacy way or just another toy? What if you try it and you're not into it? How do you let your partner know, like, I don't want to try that again?
Just like that. I don't want to try that again.
This is like,
sometimes we make it harder.
Mm-hmm.
I think we make it a lot harder than that it has to be. Like in relationships, it seems like we feel comfortable talking about so many different things that happens. But when it comes about sex, it's like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't want to feel stupid. I don't want to make them feel bad, but just kind of saying, we tried that. I didn't really like it. Let's try this instead, or let's try something else, or let's go together and pick out something. Like really just saying, hey, I didn't really like that.
Yeah, it's important to affirm how you feel. So with all these toys and things like that, is there any way to protect yourself? Because what if you have like multiple partners and you're exploring these things with multiple partners, or you're going to like a sex club or anything like that? How do you protect yourself in these instances using these toys and exploring intimacy and things like that with your partner or partners?
So with toys, it's going to come down to materials. That's going to be the most important factor on how safe it's going to be to use it with different partners. So non-porous materials are going to be silicone, glass, sealed wood, and like a stainless steel. So if your toy is made out of any of those materials, you can clean it, you can sanitize it. Like if you have, like this is a silicone dildo, you can boil this, you could put it on the top rack in a dishwasher. So any of those materials are going to be super easy to clean and sanitize. Now, if your toy is made out of like a TPE or a TPR or PVC or jelly and rubber toys are really bad. You don't really want to use those. But if there's anything that is a porous material, if you are going to use them with numerous people, just put a condom on top. Okay. And you could take the condom off and throw it away. But I would basically just stick to a non-porous toy.
Non-porous toy. Great. So that kind of goes into the whole time to clean up. So you talked about how to clean up our toys. What about like our lingerie? Is there a special thing that we need to do when we talk about our touch? Is there anything that we need to do specifically when washing our lingerie like that?
So I don't have any good lingerie. Good lingerie could be expensive. Mm-hmm. I ain't got that. So all of my lingerie probably is under $40. And so I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to hand wash it. I usually hand wash it in the sink, let that bad boy hang up. But usually it should be some type of care instructions with the lingerie. And, I know since I buy, fairly inexpensive lingerie, it's not going to last forever. Sometimes right. My partner, he might get a little ahead of himself. He might, because I like some lingerie that you can leave on, like especially something that's crotchless. So I don't have to take it off, because I didn't took all the time, to put it on and tuck my boobs in a certain way, and, put all my fat and body rolls in. I might not want to take it off just yet. So I like crotchless items so I can wear them while I'm still having sex, And then I still, hand wash them and everything like that.
Awesome. So are there any questions? We talked about our senses, masturbations. We covered a lot. Playtime with our partner. What does that look like? And cleaning up. Does anyone have any questions about that, or additional questions of things that we covered earlier?
Oh, I forgot to talk about cleaning your toys. So when you first receive your toy out of the box, you want to clean it. So you can clean it with either a toy cleaner, or you can clean it with some mild soap and water. Okay. And just clean it like that. Because when you get your toy out of the package, you really don't know who touched it. And especially if you're going to be something that's going to go inside of you, you kind of want it to be really clean. And so you want to clean your toy when you first get it. You want to clean your toy after you use it. Sometimes you might be lazy like me and fall asleep. When you wake up, clean it. A lot of toys now are coming with storage bags, which makes it really simple. So once you clean it, let the toy dry, you can put it back in your storage bag. This is my favorite toy, the Womanizer Duo. Have you heard of Womanizer toys?
Yes, I've seen them on Amazon, but yeah, I've seen those all over because it kind of went viral on Twitter one day. And
really?
Yeah, everyone was like, you have to get this. Everyone's like, any woman who wants to have an orgasm has to have this toy.
The Womanizer is awesome. So people who never heard of the Womanizer toys, they're clitoral suction toys where most of them don't have this internal part. So it might just be one single part, and it has this hole right here. So your clit goes inside the hole, and then air flutters all around your clitoris, like, oh my God, like unicorn kisses on your clitoris. It is awesome. It feels real great. It gives you a fast orgasm. That's one of the things. So did you see most people saying that it's like really fast, or like 2 minutes or less, you can have an orgasm with these toys. This one is the Duo. It has an internal part, G-spot stimulation. So this side goes in vaginally, and then this part gives you clitoral stimulation. Oh, it's a splurge toy. This one is $209. Oh, wow. So it's a splurge, but it comes with this really, for $200, it better come with a nifty storage bag. But so after I clean my Duo, I could put it back in my storage bag. And then when I'm ready to use it next time, I don't have to clean it again because it's been protected. Now, if you take your toy, you clean it, and you throw it in your nightstand or, underneath your bed or wherever you put it at, and it's not protected, you're going to clean it again before you use it because it could be dust, bacteria, any sort of particles could have got on your toy since when you cleaned it. So you could buy little storage bags. You could put it in any type of bag. It doesn't have to be one specifically for toys, just anything that'll protect it from whatever's around.
Cool. So we have a question. Do you have any advice for low sex drive? So with low sex drive, right now, with everything going on, a lot of people have low sex drive. Like stress is a big factor when it comes to your sex drive, your libido. So when we have things like, everything that happened with Black Lives Matters movement, and we're worried about, police killings, and then we have coronavirus. Yeah. Some people are losing their jobs. Some people are worrying about their family members getting sick. It's so many things that we are stressed out about that it's affected a lot of people's sex life. So things that I like to do is try to be fun. I try to have more fun with my partner. Instead of just trying to spontaneously get in the mood, like I like to have my desire build up during the day. So we might send sexy text messages to each other. We might, do a little phone sex, even if we're in the house together, because we're finally getting out away from each other. But even when we were in the house together, we would FaceTime each other from just different rooms in the house. We played a lot of couples games. We talked about different things in relationship and increasing communication. I used to write down these talking points about things I want to talk about with him. Like, if we could be deserted anywhere in the world and live there for the rest of our life, where would you pick? And we just talked about different things, and all of this stuff combined helped me with my sex drive.
I also did things to make me feel sexy. Sometimes we rely too much on our partners to increase our sex drive, when you can take control of your sex drive yourself. So thinking about what are the things that I can do for myself to make me feel sexy. For me, when I work out, I feel better about myself and I feel sexier. I took a lot of baths, and that puts me in a sexy mood. So doing things that you can figure out that is going to put you in the mood yourself, combined with the things that you can do with your partner, that could really help.
I totally agree with that. I've been working out and I feel so much better.
Yeah. You get all those good endorphins and stuff going, and then I feel, especially if I stick with it, then I look and I'm like, oh, I look good. You walk past the mirror.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So those were amazing tips. Now, do you have a top 5 products that you recommend, or that you say are like really good on you right now?
Top 5 products. Do I have a bottle? I think it's in the bedroom. So top 5 products. Number 1, lube. Lube is everything. Like, a lot of people hate on lube, especially if you're someone with a vulva and identifies as a woman, you might feel like if you don't have, Niagara Falls vagina, that something is wrong. No, no, no. It's nothing wrong. We all don't have these flowing time periods all the time. And even if you don't have any problems with lubrication, lube just makes everything better. Like, it slips and slides and cuts down on all the friction. So my favorite lube is Uber Lube. It's a silicone lube. I wish I had it. It's in my bedroom. It comes in a sexy glass bottle. So that's my favorite lube. My second favorite thing is, I showed 2 of them. The magic wand. I use this for so many different things. Like I said, I use it by myself for masturbation. I use it with my partner when we're having sex for me to have some clitoral stimulation. I use it for foreplay. We're big massage people. My husband loves physical touch. That's one of his love languages. So I use this a lot on him for massages. I also use it, like I talked about before, giving oral sex, the person giving it. It's important to be enthusiastic and be in a mood. One of the ways that you can be enthusiastic is giving yourself some pleasure while you're doing it. So by this being such a nice size toy, sometimes I sit on it. If I'm on the bed, I sit on it. And I still be hands-free and do all the things I need to do with my hands. But this is giving me some stimulation on my vulva, which feels really nice. So I use this for so many different things. Another one of my top toys would be Kegel balls, Luna beads, Kegel balls. A lot of times we don't think about Kegel balls when we think about sex toys, but keeping your pelvic floor in tip-top condition is really important. I mean, it helps you down the line with, incontinence, organ prolapse, all these different things. But having a great pelvic floor gives you better orgasms. Because basically when you have orgasm, it's your pelvic floor contracting and releasing. So the stronger it is, the stronger your orgasms are going to be. So this one is the Luna Balls by Lalo. So you can start off with 1 ball, and then it has different weights of balls that you can work your way up. And as you get stronger, just like you go to the gym, you lift 5 pounds. Once 5 pounds gets real easy, you move to 10 pounds. So these are different heavy weights. And once you move up in size, it's just going to make your pelvic floor stronger and stronger. So this is definitely one. I talked about the Womanizer Duo. I'll show that again. This is definitely my #1 favorite toy right now. It's been #1 for a while because it's everything. It's awesome. One of the things that I love about it is that it has a motor that deals with sensation. So when you turn it on a certain mode, and once you put your clit inside here, it automatically starts up. And then when you take it away from your body, it cuts off. And when you put it back, it starts up again. So I love that. So if you just have an orgasm and dropping off on the bed, it'll cut off. So I love that. And last thing that I love are anal plugs. A lot of people are getting into anal sex. I like this one because it vibrates. Vibration helps helps my sphincter muscles relax.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is very small. I'm not a big anal queen. You're not. We sell some big giant anal toys. There's no way I'm not going near them. No shade to the anal queens, but that ain't me. So I like this one because it has a very slender tip and it has a graduated expansion of the toy. And by vibrating, once I have this inside anally and I'm having sex with my partner, they can also feel the vibration because your anal cavity and your vaginal cavity are separated by a little thin wall. So when you have this in, it's actually going to take up a little bit of the room of your vaginal cavity. So if your partner has a penis or they're using a dildo, it's going to feel bigger because the space is going to be a little smaller. And then when if your partner has a penis and he inserts it in you, you're going to feel a little smaller because this is taking up some of the room. And then they'll also be able to feel the vibration. So this one is the Rio. I really like it. Anal toys. Skill effect.
Anal plugs because I also, it's a thing now that people are getting into anal plugs, but it's always like a kind of touchy conversation because people are like, oh, I don't really want to go back there, but like, what are the rules of going back there? How do you experience pleasure? So I'm happy you brought that anal plug out. Cause
yes, rule number one, lube. That's rules 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is lube. The butt makes no lubrication on its own. It's not like a vagina. It's not going to produce any lubrication. And some people say, oh, when I get really wet, it drips back there. Okay, girl. But for it to be pleasurable, you need lube. Anal sex should not hurt. If anal sex hurts, people say, well, it just hurts in the beginning. That's not really what you want. Either you're not aroused enough, you haven't taken time to get used to this. It's too forceful. Because one of the main problems with anal sex, if you're not ready, you're not lubricated enough, you're going to create little small micro tears. And especially if you're not using protection, that unprotected anal sex is one of the easiest ways to transmit STIs to each other, right? Because those micro tears, they happen so easily. So you want to use lots and lots of lube. You want to be extremely aroused. I like to have a clitoral orgasm first. So I'm really relaxed and juicy and ready to go. You want to take your time. Maybe you not start with a plug. Maybe not start with your partner penetrating you. Maybe just start with a finger and getting used to it. And lastly, start trying things by yourself. When you'll be able to relax, you'll be able to learn what type of things you can handle, what type of things you can't. You'll be able to sit with it while you relax and try different size things without all the pressure. Sometimes your partner's there like, okay, I want to do it for them. I want it to be good. And you're putting pressure on yourself and not relaxing. And then you might still not even know what you really like. When you're by yourself, try different positions. Don't just lie on your back using anal plug. Get down on all fours. Try, leaning over the bed. Try all the different things. So then when it comes down to get down with your partner, you're like, okay, wait, I already know what we're going to do. So you can really have a pleasurable session.
I agree. I totally agree. So we have one more question before we close out. What keeps relationships adventurous other than doing it in the bed and car sex? So what are some other ways to make it more adventurous?
So we did my husband and I did a YouTube video. We usually go live on Wednesdays, but now I'm doing every other Wednesday. We call it Hump Day with the Hearts. And our one about 2 weeks ago was about foreplay and orgasms around the house. Because a lot of us were still not getting out like we used to. One of my favorite things is shower sex, especially like if you have a roommate or you have some children. Maybe the bathroom is the only place where y'all can really get some peace. And shower sex could be really hot. You got the water dripping and everything like that. You want to make sure don't want to use a water-based lube because that's not going to be good and slippery. You want to use a silicone lube or oil-based lube with shower sex. So that's one. Also, if you have a garage at your house, having car sex in your own garage, that's somewhere different. Having sex on the steps, having sex. So we got booed with this one. I said, you know, if the kids aren't there, you know, you could try it out in your kids' room. A couple of people walked in, was like, no. I was like, well, it's just somewhere different. We talked about having hallway sex, giving a strip tease down the hallway. It's so many different things that you could do in your house and not have to go anywhere. You know, in the kitchen, sitting on the countertop, all these different places, on top of the washer and dryer. There's so many different places in your house that you can be adventurous sexually without having to get out and without having to spend any money. So if you want to watch that video, you can go to our YouTube channel. It's if you search Hart's Desires on YouTube, you'll see that video.
Yes, now type it down here too. Well, thank you so much, Shani, for all your tips and tricks. This is very informative for myself and hopefully all the attendees. If you have any additional questions, please write them in the chat box. Oh, thank you, David. He learned a lot.
Yay!
And you can follow Shani on all of her platforms. She is Sex Stuff with Shani on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, Heart's Desires on Instagram and Facebook. And you have Sex Stuff with Shani on Facebook as well.
It's on Facebook. I don't know why I named it something different. Because I had it on Facebook. I'm Shani, the Pleasure Expert Hart. But it's the same thing as my Instagram. So you might as well go. I like Instagram better than Facebook.
Me too. It's really hard to navigate now that with all the updates anyway. So I'm going to type that down here. And then we'll also provide those in the notes later on after probably tomorrow or next week. So you guys can have all the tips and tricks that we talked about today. So you guys can spread that information. And then please be sure to visit Heart's Desires, whether you're in DC or in Adams Morgan or in Suitland, Maryland on St. Barnabas Road. You can go to Heart's Desires there as well.
Yep, and you go to my CBD website, the Noir Leaf, Noir Leaf. Yeah. So it's like the black leaf. Because I formed the company for Black people. So I was like, how am I get Black people in there? So it's the Noir Leaf.
And I just provided again in the chat box. So you guys should be able to see that. But we'll make sure you get all that information emailed to you guys as well. We will be doing 2 winners for tonight's games. Tonight's session. So before you guys exit, we want you all to, so the first person who can answer 3 of the sex tips that Shani gave will be the winner. And then the other one, well, I guess let you guys answer that question. So some tips that Shani gave us tonight. You can name 3. You can put it in the chat box so I can see. Or in the answers, because they're both up. So if you don't feel comfortable, you can put it in the question. Okay, so, oh, wow, that was fast. Soy Candle Will It Lube. Okay, so Crystal Johnson is our first winner. And our second question is, what are some ways that you can increase intimacy with your 5 senses? So you can give me 3 of them. Sorry, I like the number 3. You have 1 already kind of in the
I'm gonna do a couple of those tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was quick. Okay, so Arian Williams, you got that. It's lingerie, blindfold, and soy candles. So we had 2 winners. Crystal Johnson and Arian Williams, you will get your gift certificates for Heart's Desires. So you will be able to purchase some items and try out some of the things that Shani talked about today. So we want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you so much, Shani, for giving your expertise. I learned a lot.
Good. Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Yes. So you guys can follow her on all her platforms and see all the things that she's doing. is great. I listen to them every other Wednesday, because I listened to the one that you just talked about with the intimacy, and that was really funny and interesting. So,
and I talked about how I peed on them in the shower.
yes.
If you're scared of like TMI stuff, then don't watch our videos, but they're funny.
Yes. So no, it's funny, and it's educational. You learn so many different things. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys in in 2 weeks, and we'll show you guys our stuff on Facebook and Instagram. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.